Hello everyone! You ever played Double Dragon 2? I played it a bunch on the NES when I was a kid with a friend of mine. I never played the arcade version, I think that was the original one, but I did play the NES version a bunch and I thought it was really good. Well, recently, a remake of Double Dragon 2 was released on Xbox Live Arcade. Now, speaking of recent Double Dragon games, last year Double Dragon Neon came out to generally positive reviews. People seemed to like it. So I figure we must be in store for something good with the remake of Double Dragon 2. I mean, it's not made by WayForward, it's made by someone completely different, but, details. I just thought we'd take a look at the masterful description of the game on Xbox Live Arcade. As it says, this is a remake, Double Dragon 2, a 80s game. The storyline takes same as original game story. However, the graphic, character, action, system, etc. are changed. Also, we are including new stage and enemy in the game. The player will be addicted to new version of Double Dragon 2. Also, characters are undressed from 80s style and recreated with modern, sexy, and beautiful style that amaze you and feel never been experienced world before. Well, with a description like that, how can we avoid playing new version Double Dragon 2 and becoming addict? And here we are with Double Dragon 2. For some reason, though, the description has been changed from when it originally went up. I mean, now it says, one of the greatest side-scrolling action games is back. Double Dragon 2 keeps the original story's plot, while making vast improvements on all other aspects of the game. Team up and take control of Jimmy and Billy, whose looks and actions are completely modernized. Battle through the newly drawn 3D stages, which hide their own secrets and surprises. Both fans of classic arcade games from the 80s, and those who just love to have a good time punching out baddies will find a thrill rider in Double Dragon 2, The Wander of Dragons. That doesn't quite have the same punch as the copy we just read, does it? I don't know, I like the original. But I mean, we might as well. Oh, hold on. There's Double Dragon Neon. Right there. You might be interested in that if you like Double Dragon 2. I'm sure that means that Double Dragon 2 is worthwhile, so let's try it out. This game actually in development, I think, a lot longer than Neon. It was first announced and the first video of it was shown, I think, before Neon was shown. So with so much development time in the game, we must be for a big treat, I would assume. Begin. That we're doing. Alright, let's start with a local game. There's story versus and survival modes. Of course, we are interested in the story of Double Dragon 2. How might have they updated it for the modern age? We can choose between either Billy and Jimmy, and as you can see, they've been redesigned. I'm not sure what sort of time period that's supposed to reflect, but they do look different. Okay, so we might as well do this in order, right? Start with the prologue, because as we all know, basic is the best way. I think that we'll just play it on normal and see what that's like.
Double Dragon, you masters of Sosatsukan. Basic is best way to master of your skill.
Like it says, basic is best way. And we're not controlling either Billy or Jimmy, but this woman in yellow.
Virtue and vice are warp and woof of our world. But sometimes virtue and vice cannot clearly be divided into.
As you can see, the complex combos of Double Dragon 2, XXX to punch.
Vice can be a part of virtue, and virtue can be covered with a veil of darkness.
And the same with Kick, with B. You might notice that the voiceover does not match the subtitles. That's how you can tell that Double Dragon 2 is a quality product.
Be careful. The anger. So anger can change virtue into vice.
You might wonder how that happens. I mean, isn't the person who's writing the subtitles just listening to the voiceover? Was this just done independently of that? I don't know. Anyway, you might be wondering who this is. This is Marion. You might remember that she is the traditional damsel in distress in the Double Dragon games. She's been redesigned. But it's obviously someone with an eye for art and fashion was behind this. Oh, now we'll try out the moves that we've learned, because this is the tutorial, and we have thugs invading the dojo. Yep, here are combos. We press buttons real fast. Marion, never a martial artist in the original games. I don't remember that anyway. In fact, Double Dragon 2, the original, starts off with her being murdered. She's gunned down. But here, she seems to be a fighter, just like Billy and Jimmy.
Courage is the most important virtue to martial artists. So be courage in the face of evil.
Remember to be always courage.
Great courage can keep the virtue from evil.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what that said. Alright, so we can also have some power attacks. Yeah. It seems to be after you strike 4 times, then you can hit with a slow motion power blow. There you go.
Just as I said, the anger. So anger can change virtue into vice. The courage protects the virtue. Patience protects the courage.
So courage, patience, virtue, all good things. Anger, not so good. It's not so great.
Secret book of Sosetsuken said these things.
Mm-hmm, it sure did.
Remember, these skills extremely fatal. Do not use fatal skills in battle.
Okay, so
You'll meet tragic fate.
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. So Sosetsuken says that you should not use fatal techniques in battle. Never use them.
All you need is just a little patience.
Mm-hmm. With patience, we do not need to kill people. Remember, do not kill people with Sosetsuken. The teachings look down on fatal techniques. I mean, I'm not sure what that is that happens when they just sort of blink away. I'm sure they're not dead, because that would be against the teachings. As you can see, the look of the game is greatly improved over the 2D original. Impeccable polygonal graphics in this remake. I don't miss the original 2D graphics at all looking at this. It is certainly not an eyesore in any sense of the word. Why would you even bring that up?
So, you were scared, weren't you, Marion?
And that's it for the prologue. It ended the same way that Double Dragon 2 begins, with Marion's death. You know, that cutscene was done much better than the polygonal scene. That, like, sort of, that 2D-ish cutscene actually made the death scene seem really sad. And here's Billy. He's mad as hell, and why wouldn't he be? Let's pause that for right now. I just find it a little actually shocking at the difference in quality between those 2D cutscenes and the actual polygonal graphics. Like, doesn't seem like that should have been in this game. Seems like that cutscene should have been in a better game. But that's the beginning of Double Dragon 2, Wander of the Dragons. Begins with Marion's death, and Billy Lee, Jimmy Lee, very angry, gonna go after this gang for revenge. And I think we'll continue on with this, because I think this is something special. Something we'll want to see the entirety of. So that's the prologue, where we learned that basic is the best way. We also learned that Sosetsu Ken forbids the use of fatal techniques, so never use fatal techniques. We should remember that as we continue to play through the game. Never use fatal techniques. And we also learned, as we saw at the end there, that you can devote your life to learning martial arts, but it's all kind of pointless. You should just get a gun, because that kind of did the trick. It made the whole Sosetsu Ken thing seem kind of pointless. Anyway, that's Double Dragon 2 for XBLA. Get it and play it yourself, because it's fun times for everyone involved, especially us. But I think that we'll continue on next time with Mission 1, and we'll start off with Billy and Jimmy's quest for revenge. It'll be a good time. Everyone's having a good time.